Hello everyone, I'm Marija Pešić and I'm a freelance journalist from Montenegro. Together with 11 other prospective young journalists, I was a part of this year's Deutsche Welle Balkan Booster program.
And I am Enis Mehmeti. I'm a journalist and content creator from Albania. I was also part of the Balkan Booster project, but from last year.
We'll be your hosts today, and it is our pleasure to welcome you to the celebration of 5 years of Deutsche Welle Balkan Booster.
Proslavimo Balkan Booster. Pet godina zbližavanja ljudi. O svojim komšijama sam naučila toliko stvari koje nisam znala. Naučiš te kada stupiš u kontakt s ljudima. 5 godina otkrivanja novih načina oblikovanja budućnosti.
Jer on želi spojiti ljude iz tih krajeva, iz tih nekad zaračenih krajeva, nažalost zaračeni moram reći, tako da u svakom slučaju ima dobru namjeru.
5 godina inovativnog novinarstva. Otvara puno inspiracija i mogućnosti za saradnju u budućnosti. Cilj nije jedno mjesto, to je način razmišljanja i osjećaj. Da bi bili dio ovog putovanja, potrebni su vam odlučnost, radoznalost i volja da se ide dalje. Zajedno.
This year marks the 6th season of Deutsche Welle Balkan Booster, and not to be subjective or anything, but it was particularly interesting because it was a mixture of everything, actually. We had stories from ecology, brain drain, to sex education, Roma community, empathy, art, and so on. Also, as every other year, young journalists had a chance to learn about mobile journalism, journalism in general, and this year they also had a chance to work side by side with Deutsche Welle journalists and other Deutsche Welle experts. Today we will see some of the videos that were made this year, but also one video that was made last year, and not only that, but we will have a chance to hear directly from the authors of these videos.
There was one topic we kept encountering everywhere through this project. It is a common knowledge that the brain drain is a problem that is haunting Balkans for more than a decade. For example, in Albania, more than 1 million people have left the country in the last 15 years. And it's also hard to find new interesting stories to tell this, or interesting perspective to tell this story, but Abdullah and Borjan managed to find a really good way and to bring us something we didn't see before, so let's check it out.
Тоа цело искуство ми беше незаменливо, ме направи човекот и кој што сум денес. Ме тера да бидам отворен за ризици, да се грижам сам за себе без да бидам под закрила на родителите. Пред да одам во странство, навистина од прва можам да се сетам дека првата мисла ми беше малку љубоморе и горчина, но откако самиот го искусив тоа, ми го смени драстично погледот на нештата.
генерално подобриот квалитет на живот што се наоѓа по европските држави. Мислам, као за почеток, воздухот, квалитетот на воздухот, односно, и меѓу другото подобри, поатрактивни понуди за работа и општо по-добар квалитет на живот. Не, ама најтешко е да се остави нели постаници, фамилија и такви работи, особено родители. Ама тоа е нешто што многу го поминале, што се преселиле таму и некако се снаоѓаат.
Има тоа смисла повеќе за твојата работа. Јас бев многу скептичен околу мене.
Borjan, Abdullah, welcome. I'm so glad you're here with us today. Why did you choose this particular topic, and why did you choose to tell this through the story of these two guys?
My initial idea was actually, let me investigate and let me find someone who actually came back and decided to give North Macedonia, in this example, another chance. So the story was pretty much, I asked him, when I contacted him, I asked him if he has any friends who want to leave the country, so we can basically connect both of them. And at the end it worked out pretty well, because his best friend actually wants to leave the country and is about to leave North Macedonia for Germany, so it worked out pretty well. The whole experience was amazing, working alongside Abdullah, working alongside Florian, our mentor. It was really good and a fun experience, and it was something new for me, because I've been in journalism for a couple of years now. I'm still very young, but I've been working for a newspaper, and I've never been filming anything really, and this experience was amazing. And I had the opportunity to actually, in a different way, show that not all hope is lost for young people in North Macedonia.
Abdullah, you are from Sarajevo and from Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Borjan, you are from Skopje, from North Macedonia. Can you maybe tell us what are the main reasons that young people are leaving these countries? Let's say, what's the situation in Bosnia and what's the situation in North Macedonia?
Well, first of all, financial situation is the primary concern for every young person, and so I think that's obvious to us. But besides that, the life standard that we are expecting from our country is also changing, because if we compare our life and our life standard to other countries and to other youth in other communities, we can see the obvious differences.
For me, I'd say mainly the difference in mentality, like the mentality of Europe and the mentality of Western Balkans, especially the youth, is it's a whole different story. Like the youth are getting more and more open-minded. They want more and different. They want to live different things. So I'd say difference in mentality is probably the key factor of why youth, especially in North Macedonia, decide to leave. And like different kinds of stress they live with in Skopje and in the whole country, and the stress that they will deal with in Europe. So I think that it's a whole political issue behind it. So I think that's maybe a conversation for another day.
Well, thank you guys for being part of the project, and I can't wait to see more videos of you.
Thank you guys.
Next story is particularly important, at least to me. It's no secret that since the beginning of time, women have been fighting for their place in the world, in their homes, in schools, on the streets, and even in the gyms. This next story comes from Melissa from Albania and Victoria from North Macedonia, and it is about a young woman who is breaking stereotypes by being great in a male-dominated sport. Let's see her story.
E vetmja gjë që mendoj është do ta bëj edhe pikë. Çdo sportist, përfshirë dhe unë, ideja është që futemi me idenë do ta çojmë peshën se s'bën. Në Shqipëri, peshngritja është tabu në fakt, por vitet e fundit ka pasur një shtim të vajzave dhe mendoj që peshngritja duhet të jetë bazë.
Si një sportiste që jam shumë e bindur që këtë do të pyesësh, nuk ka rëndësi gjinia, sepse ne i përkushtojmë më shumë punës dhe disiplinës, kushdo që ta ketë disiplinën e duhur, ne do t'i bindemi me plot gojen.
Kam marrë kur komente negative, vetëm ideja është që wow, ti bën peshngritje? Domethënë, i duket e çuditshme, le të themi nga masat e mia trupore, nga format, i duket e çuditshme si unë mund të bëj peshngritje. 3 medalje, bëni vërtet vet. Mos e dini shoqja, ti si përpara, mos e shiko.
Hi Melissa, hi Victoria. I would like to know more what was the reaction of the audience when the video was published. Are people in Albania but also in Macedonia supporting young girls or female in general who are doing these types of taboo sports?
Yes, so Enis, you are from Albania too, and you know that in Albania is this stereotype that women in general belong to the kitchen or belong to the house, and they can't do such sports or they can't go outside and express themselves in the way they want to. So after the video was posted, I talked with the protagonist, and I could say something for real that she is more self-confident, and the reaction of their friends in general and in the whole Durrës, because she is from Durrës, a city in Albania, they see her in another perspective now. They see her now like a person who makes them proud, not like a woman that breaks stereotypes.
Victoria, I wanted to ask you about your experience, because Balkan Booster is exactly that, you know, about the experience of young people, young journalists and young women. I know that there is a lot of Albanian people living in North Macedonia, but there isn't much Macedonian people living in Albania. So what was your experience filming in Albania, and did you maybe find out something more about the position of young women in Albania?
First of all, Balkan Booster was a great project for me. For a long time I've been a reporter, journalist, but I've never before have taken some videos or making stories like for Arieta Rade. She's a girl who is breaking stereotypes, like Melissa said. Balkan girls are meant to be in the kitchen, to be housewives, to not work. They expect from us to be something less from the men, because to be realistic, this is a men's world. And
this is not.
Yes, but I think that in politics or wherever you can see Arieta that she is trying to be successful in weightlifting. That is a men's sport. And I want to break the taboo that there is no such a thing of like men's sports. Girls can do anything, be journalists, be weightlifters, do whatever they want. And I think that we will empower in future women, young girls, to be very prospective, to play basketball or whatever, to do and to explore the world. And I had a great experience in Albania. I think that our two countries are very close. Our tradition is close, our mindsets are close, because in my country, Albanians and Macedonians for a long time have trouble living together. But now I have many Albanian friends in Macedonia, in Skopje, in my city where I live. And now I have a new best friend, that is Melissa, that we work together. And we had such a great time, and she was so supportive of me when I was in Honduras.
Vicky, you're working in television for a few years now. I know that, and I know that you were hosting Balkan Booster magazine, Deutsche Welle Balkan Booster magazine, on Macedonian TV station where you work. Can you tell us how was that experience? Because that's maybe something new for you, and what will you take from that?
I think that this was my great achievement, because I was the first one to publish, to broadcast on television. I think this is the first magazine, Deutsche Welle Balkan Booster, and this was a great opportunity for me, but a big challenge, because I was the one who had to present every single one of the videos, I mean great videos that everybody did. I had a great pressure, even I'm a journalist for 12 years now. But my television, the Macedonian National Television, helped me, my mentors helped me, and I think that we made a big impact, because everybody in Skopje that called me, write me on Facebook, people who doesn't even know me, says that we need more topics for the young people in the Balkans, because actually I don't think that the Balkan is focused on the problems that young people are having. And if we don't act now, and if we don't solve this kind of problems, there is not going to be a future for our countries.
Thank you, girls. I congratulate you on your videos, on your new knowledges, and I think that it's very beautiful that Melissa is maybe less experienced, Vicky, you're pretty experienced, but the both of you got some new knowledge and something that you will carry on even in your work and your life. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Maria, and thank you, Enis.
Thank you. Even though we have lots of work to do, catching up to Europe and well-developed countries, the Balkan is quickly progressing in terms of sustainability and eco-friendly practices to other countries. This is also the topic of our third video. It was done by Brunilda from Albania and also Maria, my co-host from Montenegro. This story tells an interesting idea of some guys from Podgorica to turn plastic waste into something, to repurpose it for something new and to reuse it, so basically to recycle it. And we can check it out together.
Nema razlike između novog i recikliranog, osim što je reciklirani u prednosti jer smo jednu bocu makli sa ulice i tako očistili naše ulice. A što se tiče izgleda figura predmeta koji odštampa naš 3D štampač, nema razliku. Ne bi primijetili da je to rađeno od reciklirane plastike ili od kupovnog filamenta. I baš ne pričam, samo što sam ja uzeo ovako i kad sam probao.
Znači sada sve ono što smo bacali u prirodu i ona plastika koja je završavala u prirodu može postati, da kažem, jedan vrijedan proizvod koji u Crnoj Gori nemamo, jer kao što znate, u Crnoj Gori je umrla industrija, ali kroz ovaj način sve ono što smo sad uvezli i ono što smo bacali kao smeće može postati jedan novi resurs i na neki način možemo očistiti Crnu Goru.
Hi Maria, hi Brunilda.
Hi.
It's nice to have you here.
Hi again.
Hi again. I'm sure that every country in Balkans has developed somewhere, somehow, some kind of this, some idea to put waste and to protect the environment and to do something for the sake and for the good of it. But I would like to know what is the government in every respective country doing to support these people that are actually very innovative and they are doing something great for the future of all the humanity.
Well, I don't know if you are aware, but Albanian government is facing with one of the biggest scandal because they paid €1 million to recycle, but there is no result. So for me, finding a way that a country near Albania, like Montenegro, had found a solution to recycle, it was very interesting for me. And in fact, unfortunately, the government is doing nothing for this case in Albania.
And we are actually very similar to Albania. As you could see in the video, there are some borderline depressing statistics. And it's actually, you know, a shame that the government is doing nothing with this question and with this problem. And it's even more sadder and depressing that we are, you know, used to it. We stopped expecting them to solve this problem, and then we are kind of doing it ourselves. I mean, as you see, companies, activists, journalists, ordinary people with everyday jobs are contributing and finding ways to recycle and to get rid of this hazardous waste that is polluting our beautiful country. And I think that kind of puts an alarm of how bad things are.
And in this video, I see that there is a cooperation between different generations. There is people from our age, but also very mature people. How is this intergenerational cooperation in our countries?
I think that's what makes this story great, is the collaboration, you know, between maybe a little bit older generation and young people with the same goal, you know, with kind of fire and motivation from young people, but knowledge and experience from older people who have the means and the knowledge to put it into good use. And this is actually kind of you know, a pretty good representation of Montenegro, how we can come together and collaborate very well, not depending on age, you know, gender or whatever, when it comes to real problems that are affecting our country.
Well then, thank you, Bruna, for being here, and thank you, Maria, for being my interviewee.
Yeah, thank you. I will stay here for a little bit longer.
And, yeah, get your old role back again.
The next story we are going to see and talk about is a story from last year's Balkan Booster project. It is a story about a problem that has been heard all throughout the Balkans. It has been an ongoing problem for a long time now.
And we decided to show this video because it's, as Maria said, it's still relevant to this day, and it's been a really long problem that had so many discussions, and hopefully we will come to a really stable solution. So let's check it out.
Eksperienca jam ishte shumë e mirë. Unë erdha këtu për herë të parë në Novi Sad, nuk pata asnjë problem, kalova shumë mirë këtu. I vetmja sfidë që e kom kalu ka qenë ajo në kufe të mes Kosovës dhe Serbisë, sepse duhej që t'i ndronim targat e veturas. Trajtojnë tema shumë të mira dhe tema të cilat nuk i trajtojnë mediat e tjera besoj, kështu që unë mendoj që është mirë të vazhdojnë projektet e tilla.
Iznenadili ljudi ovde. Svi su bili toliko gostoljubivi, toliko prijatni. Čim su čuli da sam gošća, odmah, iako nismo imali sad neke razgovore, samo smo i prišli čisto da se upoznamo, da znaš da možeš da se javiš i slično. Tako da veoma su svi gostoljubivi, jako su prijatni. Kafa ovde je fantastična, jako mi se sviđaju kafići i sviđa mi se ta kultura ispijanja kafe koja je ovde. No i ja to već planiram svoj sledeći dolazak.
Protagonists of this video that are Sanja from Serbia and Arleta from Kosovo. Welcome and thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having us in this TV show.
As Annie said, this is actually an ongoing problem and this is still, let's say, a hot topic. And this video is from last year, but it's still relevant. And I want to hear your experience. What do you think? Is the situation exactly as represented in the mainstream media, or is the reality a bit different?
Yes. This is a sensitive topic. I think the media in some points are exaggerating the thing and they influence the people to get afraid of this situation. But the bad news here is that Serbia isn't ready to treat Kosovo as equal. So this is the reason that it happens, these things.
Sanja, what do you think about the situation that is presented to the public and the real situation? Is there any difference?
Well, yes. I mean, regular people in Serbia just see bad things about Serbia, Kosovo. I assume that it's similar in Kosovo, but for example, here, before I went to Kosovo, I wasn't afraid. I was like very okay with it. Like I'm generally open-minded and everything, but a lot of relatives, friends, and everyone were like, "Oh, you're gonna go to Kosovo? Like, are you afraid?" And with those questions, they put a bug in my head, you know. And nevertheless, I went there, and it was amazing, and it was great. I mean, like, nothing special. And it was very interesting to me that I met a lot of Arleta's friends and a lot of journalists there, and it was very fun. And a lot of them who were older, like 30-ish years, they met me and they were like, "Oh, you're from Serbia, ajde na srpskom da pričamo, like let's talk in Serbian because I know Serbian, I want you to feel welcomed here." So that was very like nice. And they were I felt very welcomed there. It was like nothing about what people warned me about before I went there. Yes.
And how was it filming at the border? I mean, from the news, we've been bombarded with this.
Yeah,
it's been
I remembered when I was here and I watching the news, that all the headlines and news was representing the situation like in the north of Kosovo is like a war. Or
yeah, I would be scared to go there just from watching these news.
But from my experience, it was very easy to pass the border. The bad thing is that we should to change the car plates.
Sanja?
Literally no problems, just like a regular border. But the only thing that was about that trip is that it was very long, and that was everything. Except for that, no problems at all.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you guys for being here.
During the show, we had 4 interviews, me being in one of them. Enis, I think you're the only one who hasn't been interviewed.
Yes.
So I have a question for you now. What do you think that the next year topics are going to be? What do you expect, or what would you like to see from next year's Balkan Booster?
I'm sure we will have many interesting stories. Also many stories that we already had, but from a new perspective or from a new point of view. I'm also willing to bet that we were going to learn many new things. For example, I today learned that I could take the fast train to come from Belgrade to Novi Sad, because this I didn't know. It was just a reel that Meridiana posted on the Balkan Booster
she
project.
Was in Serbia.
And I really can say that I can't wait for the next year to happen, so we can have more interesting story. I'm really excited to wait for it.
Yeah, me too actually. And you know, you mentioned also some new ways and interesting things, and I'm also looking forward to solutions and to positive examples, because that is a lot of stories that I see on Balkan Booster, which I think is a really positive thing, because this is something that young people miss in the media. You know, it's always dark, it's always bad news, and I love to see that we are bringing what we need, in the media. So yeah, I can't wait. And with that anticipation for the next year's Balkan Booster, we would like to thank you. We would like to thank you once again for being here and for celebrating 5 years, actually 6 years,
6 years,
of Deutsche Welle Balkan Booster. Thank you.